Hi, my name is Ainara and welcome back to my channel. If you have seen any of my previous videos, you would know that I'm working on creating my own reality through my mindset and my habits. And one of the most important habits for me that I make sure that I do all the time to keep my mind sane and balanced is meditation. And so today I'm going to talk to you about why I meditate, how I meditate, and any tips that I've learned along the way through my meditation journey that have helped me get better at it and get more benefits. Meditation has always been pretty prevalent in my life. I always saw my parents meditating when I was growing up, and sometimes I would join in on some of their meditations. But it wasn't until I was 19 that I went to this talk by a yogic teacher, and he talked about inner engineering ourselves because the world spends so much time engineering our outside world and making our lives as comfortable as any generation has ever had them. But few people actually take time to inner engineer ourselves and how we are on the inside so that we are happy. And that message really spoke to me, and I decided to start inner engineering myself to be joyful, and ever since I've been meditating pretty consistently. So what I do whenever I'm gonna meditate is I typically find a quiet place in my house or wherever I'm at, and I sit down in a cross-legged position on a mat or on the ground, and I put a pillow underneath my tailbone to be able to sit up straight comfortably, and I just lay my hands on my lap facing upwards, and I just start breathing in and out, and I focus on my breath. And if I have thoughts flowing into my mind, I welcome them in and I see them right out with my next breath. Because it's okay to have thoughts flowing in. Of course you're gonna have thoughts flowing in when you're meditating. We have a running brain. But the point of your meditation is just to be able to recognize what's going on in your mind and welcome it and be able to slow it down. At the end of my meditations, usually what I do is I open my arms up and I lift them up into the sky. And I think of every emotion that I want to feel that day, whether that is love, happiness, clarity, growth, anything that I'm feeling that I want that day, and I bring it into my heart and I breathe in and I feel those emotions coming in, and I think it is done. Those emotions are in me today and I'm gonna feel those today. And then I just rub my hands together and I put them over my face and I just stretch out my neck, and my meditation's over, and that makes me feel just so grounded, and it helps start my day so peacefully and so smooth, and it sets the intention for the day. I've noticed that since I started consistently meditating, I sleep better. I'm generally in a better mood, which makes me have better relationships with those around me because I'm happier with myself and with my mind. I focus better. I feel like I have clarity in the decisions that I make, and I notice that I'm more in tune with my thoughts, which in return gives me more of what I want in my life. I feel like whenever I'm at peace with my thoughts and I find stillness in my life, I'm able to really manifest the things that I want, and I focus on the positives, and I feel like I have a better mindset, which ends up attracting better things in my life. And so I encourage you to try to meditate. I know that sometimes our lives are so hectic and you're like, I don't even know when I would meditate, but everybody has 5 to 10 minutes in their lives to meditate and to find stillness, and it's so important to work on us and fuel our mental health, and in turn fuel our lives around us and make our lives better. And so if you already meditate, leave a comment down below and tell us what you do, tell us what you like, and any tips that you want to share with the world. And also, if you haven't meditated before and you try it, let me know. And there's also meditation music that you can use. There are apps that you can do for guided meditations. There's all sorts of things that you can do to meditate. And a common question that I normally get is, can I meditate sitting down anywhere? Do I have to be in a cross-legged position? You don't have to be in a cross-legged position. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way to meditate. If you're not comfortable just sitting down in the middle of the floor on a mat or whatever, you can set a pillow up onto a surface and lean your back on it and meditate, you can do your legs straight or a cross-legged position. What I would recommend when you're meditating though is that you are sitting up when you meditate, because that way you avoid falling asleep, because when you lay down and try to meditate you might fall asleep. And also I recommend that when you're meditating, just be in that moment and don't be thinking about when it's going to be over. Just pay attention to your breath, and whenever you feel like it should be over, it's okay. Let it be over, and you can meditate again another time. There's endless moments that you can meditate in your life. And as long as you start with one simple moment of stillness, it's going to make a huge impact in your life over the long run. I mean, don't expect huge changes immediately when you start meditating, but pay attention to the subtler things in your life, where if you start thinking of the things that you want, they start becoming your reality, or you start listening to your intuition and you realize that you're correct most of the time, and you just start noticing that your mind is clearer in general. I hope some of these tips were helpful about meditation, and that it encourages you to meditate, because if you meditate, it will help you so much with better sleep, clarity, stress and anxiety reduction, and better moods and everything in between. If you're interested in learning more about meditation, maybe you're more interested in the yogic perspective and spirituality perspective, or maybe the more scientific side and how it works in the brain and scientific benefits for it, I'm going to drop links in the description for both the inner engineering program that I did, which is more of a spiritual perspective, and I'm going to drop links for Dr. Joe Dispenza and his content, which is more of a scientific perspective. So definitely check them out if you want to, and I'll see you next Sunday. Thank you so much for watching, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you next Sunday for my next video.